Hi guys, it is Carmen Post here. I have a special guest with us today, and I cannot wait to introduce you guys to her. I have been a Fast Away coach for the past 4 years, and I've actually been a Fast Away client for the past 5 years. I began my journey in 2018, and the Fast Away radically transformed my life. And I knew that I wanted to pour into other women. I mean, it's really become a tool of ministry for me to help women to take care of their temples so that they can be strong and step into the calling of their family first, being healthy and strong, and then into the world around them. And so I'm super excited. I want to introduce you guys to my friend, my sister in Christ, Miss Dr. Heather Doty. Will you talk to us, Heather, and say hi?
Hey, Carmen, thank you for having me here today. I'm so excited to talk with you.
Yeah, so will you tell us a little bit about your job? Because I think it's super important that we know a little bit about you, your job, and then your perspective as we go in and we talking about the faster way from that perspective.
Yeah, so let me start with just some personal background first. My husband, David, and I have 6 children. 2 are grown and gone from the nest. And then we have 2 adopted kids from Ukraine and 2 younger kids who are biological kids together. So we're just a super busy family with lots going on. My husband is a realtor and I'm a family doctor. So I've been practicing family medicine for gosh, I think about 20 years at this point and love it. But part of my heart, I'm an osteopathic family physician. So part of my heart over the years has been there's got to be something, we're missing something in medicine. We've gone so far to the other end of the spectrum of prescribing and just throwing pills at things that we're not really pushing people toward true health. And so I've been mulling over these ideas and started a practice called Crossroads Health and Wellness, where I get to do all of those things for my patients. So we do prescribe medication on occasion when it's needed, but we use a lot of lifestyle. And a lot of what I've learned has come from you, Carmen, and the faster way. I found you, I think, well, I've known you for years and have followed your ministry and love you and your family and your relentless tapping on social media like, hey mamas, you need this, you need this, check out the faster way. You got my attention. And last year, I think it was almost a year ago that we started a partner together and you helped me tremendously.
Okay, so I was going to say, how did you hear about the faster way? But obviously, you just shared that with us. You shared that you learned about it. So, when you're reading about, what would you say to people who are like reading about faster way online? They're seeing it. Like, what was it that kind of took you from, okay, I'm reading this, I'm hearing what she's saying, to actually going into action for your lifestyle, for health and fitness?
Yeah, so I was at the point, and I know a lot of people can relate to this. We know what to do. I think a lot of us have tools in our toolkit, and we kind of know what to do, but we need specific direction and we need accountability. And so for Mother's Day a year ago, I finally said to my husband, I said, I'm tired of feeling sick and tired. I know what to do, but I just can't. It's here, the desire's there, but I can't implement it. And I knew that you were offering the opportunity to come alongside people on their health journey. So as accountability and a system that is well known and well established. And so I said, David, for Mother's Day, would you please buy me a membership to this thing? I didn't even really know what it was. I mean, I knew a little bit about intermittent fasting, knew nothing about this whole thing called macros. I mean, I know what macros are, but I don't know what to do with them. Carb cycling, no clue, never lifted a weight. I mean, none of the things, but I knew that you all had the tools that I needed to help me on my own journey. So it was just really accountability and just the specific tools that I needed.
Okay, guys, so she just said, how many moms out there can relate? She was tired of being tired, right? I mean, that's all of us. So many of us women, moms, we have that in common. It's just that we get to this point in life and we're exhausted and we're tired, like you said, of being tired. And we want to make a change and we want to do it differently. But sometimes it takes that courage to step in to the unknowing, because like Dr. Heather just said, she just said that she didn't even know what she was stepping into. She just knew that she was ready to do something different. And so a lot of times maybe that's what it takes, is not knowing all the things, but ready not to be tired anymore.
Yeah, I agree. And can I share just a little nugget? And I use this with my patients. So I actually refer my patients to Carmen because you all offer a level of support that I can't offer, even though I spend an hour with my patients. What you have to offer is so great. And I tell my patients, it's like anything, like quitting smoking or quitting any kind of substance use. If on a scale of 1 to 10, you're at the point at a 7 or above, like I'm not strong enough to do it, but I want to feel better. You're the person for this program. You don't have to be a 10 and have it all figured out, but you have to have enough desire that you want to change. You just need the tools. Then you're the perfect person, that you just need a willingness to try.
That's so true. I think it's so important because a lot of times I think when we're fighting for our health and we want to get strong and we want to start doing things differently, sometimes we expect them to just happen on their own. And if that mindset isn't there and we're not really willing to like dive in and put the work in, like we're going to get the same results, right? That we always get. So I think that mindset and being ready and being willing to do it is so important. So
Mhm.
important. So what like type of medical benefits do you see with the program? Like being in my rounds, you've been a client of mine. I was about to say a patient, a client of mine for like a year. So like, what are the medical benefits that you have seen that you know that your clients, your patients can benefit from throughout just making this little bold, courageous step to say, I'm ready to do it differently.
Yeah, I mean, we could spend several hours on this. I think that's a whole conversation. And I'll just give a few teasers that I think are the high points that I've been most impacted by, that God has made our bodies incredibly. So as an osteopathic physician, we believe that God created our bodies to be self-maintaining and self-healing if we set it up that way and if we treat it well. So some of the benefits, intermittent fasting or time restricted feeding is one of the foundational things, that the faster way, hence the name faster way. It took me a long time to realize what Carmen was talking about. It's about fasting, not a fast way to fat loss, it's fasting. Um, Tons of really, really good evidence to support cancer prevention. When we put our bodies in a prolonged state of rest, our bodies have the ability to find and destroy cells that are abnormal.
Yes.
That's pretty powerful. I'd rather do intermittent fasting than have chemo, and
Amen
it's not
to that.
perfect. So again, I don't want to mislead anybody. I mean, our bodies are fallible, but I think it is a really powerful tool, because we want to live well into our years. I don't want to be 90 and walking with a walker. I want to live 90 and feel great.
Amen.
So the fasting gives us the ability to just restore and heal. It heals our gut. You'll have clarity of mind. I think, again, if we give our bodies the ability to rest, again, this is all about fasting, we have the ability to think more clearly because we rest better. Sleep tends to be better. That's another thing.
Mhm.
Um, I have seen patients, and other physicians argue with me about this, but I've seen patients reverse diabetes, and I would say it's reversible. This is where I get the arguments. No, you're just treating it. No, I really feel like it's reversed by
Mhm.
eliminating all of the processed foods and eating good, healthy, whole foods. You can reverse diabetes. You can correct your cholesterol. You can lower your blood pressure. These are all non-scale things. Now, us women, we want to see the pounds drop, and that's not really where the victories are.
Cheers.
It's really in what's happening on the inside. So, I mean, just so many things. I could really go on. There are 30, 40, 50 things that we could list, but I think those are the main things that I'm really struck by, is the power of this lifestyle, which is really what it is, and the impact that we can have in all of these areas.
It's so true. And like when you're talking about fasting, guys, we at the Faster Way, with accountability and the tools, you literally are going to become healthier. Like you're going to become stronger. Yes, we all go into that first, right? We want to lose the weight, we want to drop the pounds, but what you get when you put in the hard work, like, is so much more than a diet. It's so much more than a fad and looking good in your bathing suit, right? Okay, so from a physician's perspective, is there anyone who would need like physician supervision, like while doing the faster way? You've been with us for a year, you've been with me as a year for a year. And so is there any client patient that you would suggest with that?
Yeah, I think that the methods that the faster way uses and implements are good for almost everybody. I think there are a few patients who would probably benefit from having a physician partner in this, and that's generally what I'm doing with patients. I kind of look at things from the medical perspective and then let my patients implement the lifestyle changes. But diabetics should probably have a physician walk them through this. I think that there can be dramatic drops in blood sugar specifically. And so you just want to make sure that medications, if you're on medications for high blood pressure or diabetes or thyroid issues, that your doctor is aware that you're doing this, just so they can ideally start weaning down those medications. You never want to do that on your own without a doctor walking you through it. And I think the other really good reason to have a doctor work alongside you is because you are going to see results on your labs, on your blood pressure, your blood sugars. You want to see what's happening on the inside, those intangible things. So it's great if you have someone who can kind of supervise and walk alongside you and support you as this treatment. It really is a treatment plan. I think it's a medical treatment, in my opinion. It's just an amazing way to reverse a lot of the chronic illness that we're seeing in our society. So those would be, and maybe if you are, let's say, maybe 65 and over, the faster way is still an amazing program for women, and it's ideal for patients in that, for women specifically in that perimenopause area. But as you start to get towards 65, probably having a doctor walk you through the process would be helpful too.
And one thing too with the faster way, like we are not replacing your doctor. You know, we will always tell you to go and get your doctor's advice first, and then you can tap into all the faster way things. And so I love how it pairs together with what your doctor's saying and the lifestyle. Again, and this is a lifestyle, guys. This isn't a diet. It's not a fad. Like we are about living healthy lifestyle, and it goes hand in hand. I've had hundreds of clients go get their blood work done having cholesterol problems, guys, and like Dr. Doty has said, like literally reverse the medical problems. And so there's a great opportunity before you to do something about it. And it really comes with intermittent fasting, what we eat, when we eat, how we eat, exercising. Do you think the program was super hard, like to get a grasp of? Because you kind of said you didn't know what you were stepping into. Like, did you feel like it was hard to adjust, or was it something that after you kind of learned it, it just became a part of who you are? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. No, it wasn't hard. I feel like the way you all walk us through it, you don't overwhelm us. There's a lot of information, but you give us little bits at a time. So you talk about water intake, you talk about whole foods, start to implement fasting, start to include the workouts and counting macros a little bit at a time. I felt like that was very manageable. What I tell people when I refer them to you, Carmen, is that it's going to cost you time.
Yeah.
There's no way to get around that. And I'm feeling that too. So I had the luxury of taking a season out of the office last year, and I could really focus on my health. And that was a gift to me to have that time. And now that I'm in a busier season, it's harder, but I have the tools that I need and it's easy to implement. So it's not hard, but it definitely costs time. Everything costs us something. So we have to spend our time and invest our time into our health. The process is not difficult at all.
That's so good. And even it's better to kind of invest that time now versus losing that time at the end of our lives because we didn't take the time to make better choices, to educate ourselves and to do it differently. Can you share with us some of the things what are the differences that you've noticed in your own life after living the Fast Away lifestyle for 1 year, Mother's Day, 1 year?
Yeah, it's almost 1 year to the day. I think that I started. I'm pretty sure it's May 9th. That's if not, it was really close to that. Yeah. Yeah, so lots of changes. I noticed a lot of changes right away because I really followed things pretty much to a T. I had the time to do that and I focused it to a T. My digestive health was better. My skin cleared up. I had some really just issues with dry skin that completely resolved. Definitely lost inches that I had, packed on here and there over the last year or so. My mental clarity and my energy were the things I think that I noticed first after I eliminated all of the garbage that I was eating and focused on all these good, healthy foods. And I remember telling David, I can't eat all this food. It's so much food. It's so much food. So I was eating a lot of food and losing inches, and I was trying to reconcile that in my brain, but my thinking became clear. And I'll tell you how I know that this works because, and Carmen knows this. I mean, she's my coach, and so she knows what's happening over the past few months as I've gone into a different season of life. It's been more difficult. So there have been a couple of areas that I've slipped in, and my thinking starts to get foggy. My energy dips. Carmen cheers me on and says, "You can do it. Just get back on track." And I do, and things revert back again. So this is, for me, this is a long-term thing. We never do things perfectly. One of the things that Carmen teaches us, they say progress over perfection. We are not robots. We're human beings, and we are fallible, and we go through, and life is real. Life is hard sometimes, but you have the tools. The Faster Way will give you tools, and Carmen, as your coach, will give you just amazing support to just get back on track. Then you just make subtle changes. You don't have to jump on the wagon again. You just tweak things a little bit. So there's so many good things that I've experienced.
Isn't it amazing how we can get results by doing it imperfectly? So many people talk to the busy mom out there that feels like she can't do this because she knows she's not going to do it perfect. What would you say to her?
Oh, forget those. So these are the things. This is also what I love about the Faster Way. I never expected to get so much mindset training.
Yeah.
That's what saved me and keeps me going, because I do these workouts. I did one this morning, kickboxing, which I hated a year ago, and I loved it today. I could not wait. And all during the workout, they're coaching us. This is the hardest part of your day. You can do this. And so that's in my head now. And so to the busy mom, I would say, you need this more than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily for the mindset stuff. If you can wrap your brain around that, and I know what it's like to be a busy mom, but to have those kinds of teachings and the support of an amazing community cheering you on, you absolutely can do it. They will give you lots of things to do. You don't have to do all of them. I don't do them all every day. And I still see great success.
Yeah.
And feel great, better than I told Carmen, I'm going to go into my 50s better than I did going into my 40s.
Amen. Amen to that, sister. Yes. And don't you feel like you're just getting started, right? It's like, wow, and we have so many more years to pour into ourselves, into God's temple, and take care of this so that we are strong in our 50s and our 60s.
Amen.
So good. So how long would you say that clients should invest in the Faster Way, do the Faster Way? You've been with me for a year. What is kind of your advice on that?
Do you remember how I approached you when I first sent out that little email in May? So Carmen, I think I want to maybe possibly try out your 6-week round, but I don't want to do any more.
Not longer than that. No longer than that.
I said, I remember specifically saying, and you were so gentle, and you said, just try it. This is a lifestyle. It's not, but let's just get you on for 6 weeks. And by the end, I told David, I'm never leaving. Right? Wherever Carmen goes, I'm going with her. So it really is. I mean, it is not meant to be a quick fix. It's meant to be a lifestyle. And it's not one that I'm willing to give up. I want to invest in this. For me, it's an investment in my own health, my relationship with my husband, because if I'm healthier, then we have a healthy marriage. It's an investment in my children, in my business. So I'm in it. You're stuck with me, Carmen.
Yeah, I don't mind being stuck with you, sister. It's such a deep connection, right? Like we come into it for fat loss. We come into it kind of sometimes for like these vain, like appearance reasons. But what we get out of it, like when you're talking about like your marriage, how you're a better wife, how you're a better mom, and what you can pour out into the world around you. Like, guys, this is going deep. It is not just about the first thing that you initially come into, whatever it is. Like the Lord has so many blessings blessings in us taking care of ourselves. So I'm going to ask a question, like what type of patient would you recommend to the Faster Way? I think we kind of hit on that a little bit, but if like any of your patients, like who would you say, like, yes, like you need the Faster Way? What are some of the things that they come in with, problems they come in with, that you're like, hey, like here's a solution?
Yeah, I think my heart personally, as I get further into this new season of my career, my heart is for the busy mom. I just see these moms in 30s to 50s and beyond, perimenopause, just you're juggling a lot. And so I feel like that busy moms are my heart. I think that's it's a wonderful program for a busy mom, especially with the support and accountability in the community. However, I would say they've launched a men's program, which is phenomenal.
Ah,
So we get the mamas in and then they bring their husbands in, which is good. Then it becomes sort of a family affair. But I think anybody who really, they know, when you're not doing well. I think those patients who see me, they know they don't feel well. They don't necessarily want to take medications, but they don't see a way out of feeling sick and tired. They're sick all the time. They don't have energy. They have mental fog. Maybe they have a few inches that they want to trim off. They don't feel strong. Those are the people I think that would benefit. And again, like I said, if you have any desire to move toward health, just a little bit of desire, I think that's a perfect client for you.
yeah, that's so good. And so I guess like my last question is going to be, so would you recommend your patients to the faster way? I mean, I don't even know if we need to ask that, but
Yeah, I mean, I could talk to you for hours about this. I feel like I talk about the faster way. I wear my swag, I got my water bottle, I got my things, because as a physician, I look at the state of the health of this country. And I know you're in Ethiopia right now, and I'm in the States. This country that I'm in is in a bad state, a very, 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 very bad state. And the only way we're given in traditional medical circles to get out of that bad state is to medicate it.
right.
And I am not okay with that. I am not okay with seeing our country go in that direction. That's why I've radically changed my practice, the way I approach medicine. We have to do a better job as a country. We're in a pretty rough spot now, but I think if we are sick as a whole population, our country is completely defenseless, really, in every way. Families start to fall apart. Our children are growing up in a society. Our kids need to see parents getting healthy. So, I just think that this program, I cannot recommend it highly enough. And I know people, see me on social media and talking about my journey, and they probably get tired of hearing it, but I'm not tired of talking about it.
No.
I feel like there's still more people out there who need this. And it's so beautifully done. It just makes me emotional thinking about it. Just the lives that are able to change. I think there have been, what, Carmen, over 350,000 people at this point in the faster way,
Yes.
and growing. And that just makes my heart happy. I long for the day when people don't need me as a traditional doctor anymore. That's
Mm,
the place I want to get to.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yes, I think I think everybody needs faster way.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Heather. I want to tell you, as your coach, I am so proud of you. What an honor it is for me to cheer you on every day. I love looking and seeing, oh, those sweaty selfies and you getting your workout in, and just how you encourage others in the group. Like that's one thing with the fast way is we have accountability with each other. I'm your coach, but you encourage me just as much as I encourage you. And we're in this together. And we know that every day we're going to be doing something the same. And sometimes one of us might be having a rough day and we can be like, sister, it's okay. Tomorrow's a new day and you're going to get through this. And so thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I think you're amazing.
Thank you, Carmen. I appreciate you so much. And you all watching this need to have Carmen as your coach. She's incredible. She's
Yes,
my
come
biggest cheerleader.
on.
Yes, do not wait. Don't hesitate. If that thought is kind of popping in your head, don't wait. Just go for it. This is one of the things. It's not being impulsive. You need to invest in your health. This is a good thing. And Carmen is the one you want coaching you.
And it's going to be so worth it. Like it is going to be, yeah, it's scary, right? Like we're all scared. I was scared when I stepped into this thing. I didn't know what I was doing. Heather was scared when she jumped into this thing, and we're still here today. I'm 5 years in, Heather is 1 year in, and our lives are being radically changed. Our marriages are being radically changed. Our families are being radically changed. And the community around us is being radically changed because we have the energy, we have the excitement, the brain fog is gone. And really, we're just living in our purpose that God gave us. And the intention that he made us to live for is to be healthy, to be strong, not to have aches and pains, not to be tired and depressed all the time. And so a lot of us, I feel like we've gotten into the habit of thinking this is normal. Feeling this way is normal, and this is just the way it's going to be the rest of my life. But we're here to tell you today that's a lie. That's a lie. And you do have a choice.
Amen.
Awesome. Well, Heather, it was so good to see you today. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your story and then your perspective as a physician, because I think it's so important that we do know what our doctors feel about eating whole food, intermittent fasting, and maybe not jumping straight into medicine to fix everything that we think is wrong with us. Is there anything else that you would like to add in before we go?
No, that's all. If anyone's interested in learning, I practice medicine. My family's actually moving to Florida this summer. So Crossroads Health and Wellness is the name of my clinic. So I'll have a location in Florida, but I do telemedicine in North Carolina and Florida anywhere. So if you need a family doctor who believes in giving your body the opportunity to do what it was created to do, feel free to reach out.
Absolutely. And we'll make sure that the links, the websites, all of that is below the videos. That way you can connect with Heather super easily. And guys, I'm going to tell you, I have been a little sad that I'm all the way in Ethiopia and I can't have Heather at my access and my family's access, but maybe one day soon that will happen. Heather, I love you and thank you so much for sharing your journey.
Thank you, Carmen.
Ciao.